Alright, we're doing this. It's time to play around with Dragon Link. With the banlist Nuke and Elpy and Striker Dragon, the deck certainly has some new challenges to overcome, but I'm pretty sure there's multiple different ways to solve them. And that's what we're gonna do. Off the top of my head, there's about 5 different builds I want to experiment with: Crusadia Dragon Link, Phantom Knight Dragon Link, Dragon's Dogma, Dragoonity Dragon Link, and Normal Dragon Link. We'll make a video for each build, starting with today, looking at Normal Dragon Link. So before the ban list, the deck's main goal was basically to consistently end on Spheres, Savage, and Tidying every turn before going in for the kill. Elpy wasn't exactly necessary, but the starting play doesn't really work anymore. Usually, with your starters like Chaos Space, or Safer, or Black Metal, you'd need to make Striker with your first material before going into Spheres or Romulus. Then you'd use your second Striker, or Elpy, to facilitate your Guard Dragon plays, but you just straight up can't do that anymore unless you see World Legacy Guard Dragon. Now, before we get into it, I do want to mention that I'm not exactly a professional player, and I'm not claiming my ideas here to be optimal. I'm just a Scottish idiot that likes playing with dragons, and this is the result. Okay, cool. So, ideally, if you want to still access your Guard Dragon plays, you want to get to your Link 2 without using Striker Dragon. This makes your free special summons like Quick Launch and Noctovision a lot more important in the deck, but this is where my hot take, or spicy tech, comes in. Dragon Shrine and Foolish Burial are now incredible starters for the deck that help play around Droll, while also offering some versatility. Also, a lot of people probably aren't going to bother ashing a Dragon Shrine. At worst, they'll probably think you're dumping Darkworm or Absorouter. What makes these cards good starters is the fact that Background Dragon exists, and you probably haven't even heard of this card, so let's give it a little read. If this card is in the graveyard and you control no cards, you can special summon both this card and one level 4 or lower dragon monster from your hand in defense position, but banish this card when it leaves the field, and then that's once per turn, obviously. All of your good normal summons like Black Metal, Safer, Chamber Dragon Maid, they all have great effects, but they don't necessarily need to be normal summoned to use them, right? So you can dump Background Dragon, then special it back alongside something like Chamber, Safer, or Black Metal from your hand, instantly giving you your 2 materials and benefiting off of their effects, and you still have your normal summon to use. You can also dump it with like Chaos Space if you open it and trigger its effect that way, which is kinda neat. So that by itself is kind of an insane play, but that's not the only reason Dragon Shrine is good though. If you need to, you can use it to access Tracer through Absorouter, you can dump anything you want to summon with Pisty, or you could even dump Galactic Spiral. Galactic Spiral adds another level of grind to the deck where you can just keep spitting out rank 8s every turn like Dingirsu, Hope Harbinger, Sanifond, or you can just use it as a free extender if you need to. It works super nicely alongside the Chaos Ruler as well, and so all of this together I think helps cover the new weaknesses of the deck a bit without relying too much on certain plays. Theoretically, you could now use Ravine to dump whatever you want and special it back off Pisty. So getting into the list I've been experimenting with here, yes, I know, 46 cards, shut up. Ratios aren't final, but I'm struggling to cut it down. You could maybe take out like a Noctovision or something. But yeah, you mostly have just the standard stuff here: 3 Chaos Space, 3 Launch, 3 Dragon Shrine, and 1 Foolish. Seeing both of these isn't a problem because you have so many decent targets to send. Of course, you have Launch and Ravine as well, 3 Chamber, and 3 Black Metal along with 2 Safer. Having multiple normal summons is less bricky in this build thanks to the Background Dragon play. We also have 3 Tracer and 2 or 3 Nocto. Then the Safers, we have Red MD, all the Chaos Dragons. We have 2 targets for Tracer. Gives you like an extra turn's worth of grind, and Silver Rocket with the Boot Sector launch buff just allows you to beat over Winda, if that would ever come up. Absorouter, Background, and Spiral, obviously all your targets to send. We've got 2 Tidying and 2 Guard Dragon, double Ash, and triple Gamma with the Driver. Honestly, I kind of like 46 cards because, you know, Driver sucks. Getting into the extra decks, some of the slots here aren't quite 100%, but you absolutely do need your 3 Spheres: Striker, Romulus, Pisty, Savage, Chaos Ruler, and Abyss. Borrow Sword and Harbinger at least. The final 4 slots can kind of be swapped around. I've currently gone for Sanifond and Dingirsu along with Apollousa, because sometimes you can make Apollousa with 3 or 4 materials under Spheres if you have a crazy enough hand. And Quad Borrow does sometimes come up where it sort of just fixes your board and allows you to get to your additional synchro if you are making like Abyss and Savage on the same turn. Side deck is just kind of good cards, I guess. Not really too much thought into it there. Typically, you want to play it kind of conservatively and keep your resources flowing, but if you're not fearing Nibiru or anything like that, you can still just go wild with the right hand and combo off like the deck has always done. Alternatively, you could make use of Hulk and Romulus as extenders by throwing in Divine Lance and Phalanx again alongside Saryuja to help maximize your resources. You have enough chain blocks so that it doesn't really get hand trapped, and you most likely still have your normal summon at the end of it all, allowing you to take it from there, obviously making spheres ASAP in case of Nibiru. This line of play does allow you to get your combos started with fewer cards, however it does mean having 2 extra bricks in the deck in Divine Lance and Phalanx, so ratios would have to be tweaked if you want to incorporate that, but I think it definitely does show that the deck has some really strong options going forward without the 2 Striker Dragon and Elpy, so it's not a dead deck, okay? Copium.